So, this is, for a better lack of words, my story. It's messy, it's long, it's kind of dark, but it's real. So, today I wanted to do my best to show you in a way I can. When I was little, my mom and dad were together. I don't remember everything clearly, I just remember that they argued a lot. As I got older, I heard different stories from both sides, so honestly, it's hard to know what was true. But from what I myself know, my mom was sick and my dad was struggling with addiction to opioids. But my dad wasn't just his addiction, he was also great to us kids. I remember him tucking me into bed every night. He made sure my favorite show was on. And one night at like 1 in the morning, he was outside building a treehouse playground for me and my sister. And I woke up and walked outside to see what he was doing. And instead of getting upset with me, he had me climb up the rock wall he had just built and test the ladder that he was actively building. I also remember when we would be in the pool, he would let us kids stand up on his arms and he would throw us up into the air to land back into the water. Those were some really good memories, and I really hold on to those the best I can. Me and my sister, when we were younger, couldn't be any more different. She was great at school, had straight A's, loved reading, loved writing, liked all sorts of different things, but I was the opposite. I wasn't great at school, didn't really like reading, horrible at writing, and still am. We liked very opposite interest in being young and dumb. We used to argue and fight a lot. But as we grew up, we were surviving the same troubles and horrible households together. My parents used to break up and get back together all the time. We'd move, get comfortable, and then wind up moving again. One day, I woke up to yelling, and I walked out of my room into the kitchen, and my mom was standing there yelling at my dad to leave. She was angry, screaming at the top of her lungs and just yelling things at him to try and hurt him. But I very vividly remember my dad didn't yell, he didn't fight, didn't raise his voice, he just stood there, looking disappointed, like something inside him had broke. He hugged me, and he left. Like she wanted him to. After that, I didn't see him too much for a while, but that was my dad. Little things, quiet love, even when everything was falling apart around him. Eventually, my mom met someone new, and at first he was great. They got married, and he was nice to us kids, but after they got married and a while of living together, he started showing his true colors and started drinking. And drinking, and drinking. And he changed. He became abusive mentally, physically, and emotionally to all of us. The one time on vacation, he got absolutely hammered drunk and crashed our car into a mountain. And then we had to wind up driving back to our rental in a wrecked car with a flat tire. The whole time he was arguing with us, and we were all still terrified. And later that night, he wound up dragging me down a staircase and yelling at me. And that was just the beginning of half the stuff he would put us through. I do want to be clear, I love my mom and I always have. I cared about her a little too much sometimes, but she wasn't perfect. She could be manipulative, emotionally abusive. And one time I remember when I was younger and I was homeschooled, I had told my mom that I, for better terms, so this video doesn't get taken down, wanted to reset myself. And I remember she had looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Do it. It shows me how worthless you are." And you don't forget something like that, especially from a parent, someone you're supposed to be looking up to and taking care of you. Out of everything, though, I think the worst night that I have had is my stepdad got extremely drunk. Like dangerously drunk and out of control, and I remember being terrified. And that night he had been yelling and hitting my mom, and the only thing I could think to do is take the guns that he had owned, and I remember taking them apart and shoving pieces of them in different places. Like, one of the guns split in half, and I remember shoving one under a dresser in one room and the other half under a bed in another room, and stashing the ammo in the fireplace so that way he wouldn't be able to hurt anyone too bad. But I also remember after doing that, I heard my mom scream, and when I ran outside, I watched him throw her across the backyard. He got arrested that night, and the police later told me if I hadn't called, then he probably would have wound up killing her. And I'm going to be entirely honest. Sometimes I think I regret not killing him that night, because in my head I was protecting my family. I was scared for my life, for my mom, for my sister. And part of me thinks I would have been justified. But here's the truth. A kid protecting their family is brave, but a kid should never have to become a killer to survive. I shouldn't have had to think like that. No kid should. It was not my job. But because of everything I've been through, I have PTSD. I like to call them spicy memories. Random sounds, smells, or voices, and suddenly I'm back there. For years, I couldn't even be around alcohol. Being near people drinking made me panic, and God forbid if I tried drinking myself, it'd make me feel like I was blacking out, like my body was trying to shut down. I also struggle with medicine. Even though I know not all medicine is addictive, it's like there's always this fear in the back of my head that if I take this, what if I become something I don't want to be? I'm also always aware of everything around me. I'm always watching everyone and what they're doing. I'm always listening to everything. I memorize people's footsteps so I know who's coming and walking down the halls before I even see them. I have nightmares. I have panic attacks. After you go through so much as a kid, your body may physically heal, but your mind won't. Once that survival mode switch is flipped for so long, it may never turn off. But I do know one thing. Through all the hardships, through everything I was going through, one thing that really kept me going was gaming and YouTube. Content creators like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, PewDiePie, to them at the time, they were probably just uploading videos. But to me, it was hope. It was something to look forward to in the horrible days. It was something normal, something safe that I had myself. It kept me sane and it kept me alive. And that is why I want to be a content creator. I want to be that comfort for someone else, whether I'm just that background noise while you're studying or cleaning, or if I am wholeheartedly that little shimmer of hope to a kid out there that's just trying to survive. If you are watching this and you are that kid that is just out there trying to survive, I promise you it gets better. It may be horrible right now. It may feel unbearable, but if you're seeing this, this is your sign that things will get better and you will make it through this. You may not heal from everything, and after it does get better, that healing journey takes a really unorthodox and long time, and you may have months or weeks where you feel perfectly fine and that life is great, but then you could just be sitting there and hear just a faint sound from a TV, or just get a nostalgic smell that just puts you right back and makes you feel like you're in that horrible space again. But I also, so this video is not too long, am going to say where I am now. Things are better now. Me and my sister are best friends, believe it or not. As much as we fought as kids, I never thought it would happen, but my sister is really a saving grace, and honestly, I would do anything I could for her if she asked, because I know full well she would do the same thing for me. My dad has been sober for about 7 years, and I am so proud of him. He feels terrible for everything that we went through, and now he does everything he can for us. He's always treated us with respect, even when he was struggling. That's why I've always respected him. He went from nothing to rebuilding his life, and every step of the way, he never stopped loving us. He's my biggest supporter when it comes to content creation, and he's the one that got me into gaming. So technically, you can thank him for me being here and making these videos. One recent but not so recent thing that I really like to think about all the time with my dad is whenever I came out as trans. Yes, I know my voice isn't the greatest. I haven't done much voice training, so I am very much big, strong, manly man with my voice. But whenever I came out to my dad, I'll never forget it because I told him I was trans and he listened. He hugged me. He asked what I wanted my name to be, my future, my choices. He didn't understand much of it at all, but he supported me anyway. So, Dad, if you're watching this for some reason, thank you for everything you've become and everything you do. Man, I'm gonna start crying. But this is my story. Not for sympathy, not for attention, but for anyone who feels alone. You can grow up in darkness and still become light. You can be hurt and still choose kindness. You can be scared and still be brave. And if you've made it this far, thank you. And if you're struggling, you're not alone. Me being here is proof that you can survive and that you can keep going. This isn't everything. Obviously, I've gone through a lot more and there's a lot more to my life. But I wanted to just make a small, quick video. Not too sure why, to be honest, minus to maybe tell my story, and if anyone out there who's going through maybe the same thing sees it, they can see it as a sign of hope. But regardless of that, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. And this is the end of the video now. All I can really think to do is the cliche normal stuff, like the video, subscribe, you know? Yeah, you want to like the video. Like it. I see you. You're thinking about it. Like the video. Like it. Okay, bye.